I will explain what is capital expenditure. Capital expenditure, or we known as CapEx, is the money an organization or corporate entity spend to buy, maintain, or improve its fixed asset. It is considered a capital expenditure when the asset is newly purchased or when money is used towards extending the useful life of an existing asset. In this case, when the capital expenditure constitutes a major financial decision for a company, the expenditure must be formalized at an annual shareholder meeting or a special meeting of the board director. For example, building, including subsequent costs that extend the useful life of the building, and then machinery, including the cost required to bring the equipment to its intended location or for its intended use.
Importance of capital expenditure. Decision how much to invest in capital expenditure can often be extremely vital decision made by an organization. They are important because of the following reason. First, long-term effects. Effect of capital expenditure decision usually extend into the future. The current decision on capital expenditure will have a major influence on the future activity of the company. Second, irreversibility. Capital expenditure can hardly be undone without the company incurring losses or negative effect. Once the capital expenditure decision been made, there is small chance to reverse the decision since the cost can be often not be recouped. Lastly, high initial costs. Capital expenditure are characteristically very expensive, especially for companies in industries such as production or manufacturing. Challenges in capital expenditure decision. Even though capital expenditure decisions are very critical, they can also be a source of difficulty because of measurement problems. The process of identifying, measuring, and estimating the costs relating to capital expenditure may be quite complicated. Next, unpredictability. Companies making capital expenditure decisions are usually characterized by a lot of uncertainty. During financial planning, companies need to account for risk to mitigate potential loss, even it is not possible to eradicate them. Lastly, temporal spread. The costs as well as benefit related to the capital expenditure are usually stretched over a relatively long period of time for both industrial projects and infrastructure projects.
Okay, so what is environment? The nature setting in which everyone lives. The environment is something everyone is very familiar with. It is everything that makes up our surrounding and affect our ability to live on the earth, such as the air we breathe, the water that covers most of the earth's surface, the plant, the animal around us, and much more. So, effect is a change which is result or consequence of an action or other cause. So, what is environmental effect? Environmental effect, any change that a project or activity may cause in the environment, including any effect of any such changes in the quality of soil, of water and air, biodiversity, and the condition or quality of habitats and the human health.
Okay, there is 3 types of environmental effects. Direct impact. Direct impact occurs through direct interaction of an activity with an environmental, social, or economic component. For example, discharge of any industry or an influence from the industrial estates into a river. Second, indirect impact. Indirect impact on the environment are these which are not direct result of the project, often produced away from or as a result of a complex impact pathway. For example, ambient air rise due to stagnant emission may deposit on land as cause acidic soil. Lastly, cumulative impact. Cumulative impact consists of an impact that is created as a result of the combination of the project evaluated in the effluent together with other projects causing related impact. This impact occurs when the incremental impact of the project is combined with the cumulative effect of other past, present, and reasonably forecastable future projects.
Okay, lastly, I will explain how the fixed asset of agriculture industry will affect the environment. Agriculture produces large amount of liquid chemicals flowing into river. Removal of fertilizer, pesticide, and insecticide, chemical pesticide to kill pesticide from agriculture area also cause water pollution. Rainwater will bring fertilizer and chemical pesticide used by farmers into river. These toxic substances will prevent light penetration below the surface of the water and also cause oxygen in the river and thus affect the ecosystem. Other than that, agriculture also involving in open burning. It is an easy way to prepare the area before planting. It is also aimed to control disease and pests as well as waste management after harvesting. This open burning will lead to air pollution. Example that pollution happened in Malaysia for agriculture industry, which environmentalists went to the plant mangrove tree at Sungai Tengah River mouth, received a rude shock when they saw pitch black water and oil slick so thick that it appeared to flow into the sea. The water is pitch black and there is a layer of oil on the surface. Plastic waste is floating everywhere and even lodged into mud and the mangrove swamp. A local NGO said low tide revealed the agriculture industry had caused pollution to the river. The industry spent capital expenditure on the machine that involved in activity of devastation. The process of devastation will emit chemical fluids that will flow to the river and cause of pollution. So how to overcome this pollution? By installing micronation-induced cell substrating oil net extraction synthesis, or we call it as microns. For oil palm industry, installing a microns will reduce oil loss during the extraction process. When they are able to reduce oil loss, at the same time it will reduce the oil flow to the river in that area. Next, by installing composite residual machine, instead of throwing and burning the excess leaf in agriculture area, they can install composite residual machine in that area to reduce the air pollution. Burning the excess leaf will emit a smoke, but when they install the machine, they can processing the leaf into materials for use such as organic fertilizer. It will be successfully reduce air pollution.
When the company is planned to buy, maintain or improve its fixed asset, they need to consider the effect to its company, third party and environment. For the advantage, by buying, maintaining or improving fixed asset such as machine, it will increase the operation or production of the company itself, so the company can make more profits. While the disadvantage, when there is increasing in operation or production, there also will be a potential increasing in environment pollution since the machine are one of the assets contributing to pollution.
Next, I will proceed with construction industry. How the asset of a construction industry affect the environment. A construction work will cause air pollution, water pollution, but not all pollutions are associated with the fixed asset of the company, but rather due to the discharge of the material used in the construction. The main fixed asset of a construction company is the heavy-duty vehicles, and these vehicles use diesel fuel. This would result in CO2 emissions which will cause greenhouse effect that it will eventually cause global warming. The side effect of the construction work is the materials used in the construction, which is aluminium, concrete and steel, are directly responsible for CO2 emissions into the atmosphere due to the embodied energy content. In addition, heavy-duty machines that is used in the construction creates noise pollution that affect the surrounding of the construction sites. Most of which machines that are used by the construction company are conventional. When these machines are used to demolish building or to construct building, it causes a discharge of pollutant into environment. For example, wastewater from washout concrete, wastewater from paint and oils, and discharge of fuel from the equipment or machinery. These are the example of companies that are practicing green construction. The first one is Hansel Fab from USA, which it used the hybrid vehicles and recycling and waste material sorting. The second one is Kanskal, SWE, which they use material that are sourced locally to reduce the carbon footprint that is caused by cross-border transportation of materials, for instance, ship and trucks. And the third one is cobalt, which cobalt is a 3D machines. It is developed a 3D printer to help the architecture, engineering and construction sector visualize and communicate design and data. It provides data for urban energy, sustainability and design planning. So I would like to recommend to construction industry to apply some of these methods and machinery that will save our environment. The first one is the usage of hybrid vehicle. Construction company can consider of using hybrid vehicle for the construction works where the vehicle are electric charged or uses solar energy to function. This would reduce the CO2 emissions and also produce water pollution. Also reduce the water pollution for the oil or fuel discharge from the vehicle. The second one is to adapt prefabrication construction practices. The construction company should consider investing in the prefabrication equipment or machinery. Prefabrication is when the construction company assemble component either completely or partially off-site rather than on-site of the construction area. Once assembled, the components are transported to the location of the project, at which point worker will make the final touch. And the third one is locally sourced material, which when vehicles are used to transport material from cross-border, this will increase the emissions and also a risk of polluting the oceans. So companies should source the material locally to create the efficient construction process due to less time taken for the material to arrive, and at the same time supporting the local supplier. And the last one is to adapt modular construction practices. Modular construction is where a building is constructed off-site and then using the same material and designed to same standard as conventional on-site, but this building technique limits the environmental destruction, delivering components and or when needed. So construction company should consider buying an open space or warehouse where they can construct building in an open space and transport it on to the on-site. So the last industry that we chose is semiconductor industry. How fixed asset of semiconductor company affect the environment? So here we focus on welding process using welding machine that would affect the environment. Welding is a process of joining two metal parts together by applying intense heat between them, which causes the part to intermix after melting. All welding processes generate fumes, but most fumes are produced during the electric arc welding. The thermal effect can cause agglomeration of the particle into particle change and cluster that can be deposited in the human respiratory tract. These workers are exposed to smoke and toxic gas emitted during the welding processes, which may endanger their health. Welding gases can also be generated when surface coating or contaminant contact with hot surface or UV radiation. Along with harming human health, air pollution may lead to various environmental impact. Air pollution can adversely cause critical impact on the atmosphere and natural environment in many ways. So So we choose UWC Berhad as an example of semiconductor industry that using welding machine. The company provide value-added assembly services where they sub-assemble metal piece part into machine structure, metal enclosure and metal chassis, and provide full assembly services by assembling the intermediate metal products. So here I would like to recommend to the welder that are doing welding and the company, especially in semiconductor industry, to apply this method, or maybe could spend their capital expenditure well in buying an environmental or eco-friendly machines. There are two machines. The first one is diffusion welding machines. Diffusive welding is currently most used welding technique for its ability to create perfect and strong joint. Diffusive welding is also preferred for its efficiency, plus it is a welding method that scales well. The eco-friendly of diffusive welding eliminates the need for flux, since the process no longer uses carbonate and silicate material. There are no outgases and the entire process are safer to the environment. Instead of using flux, diffusive welding combines pressure and heat to create perfect joint with an incredible consistency. The combination also prevent atmospheric gases from reaching to the bonded surfaces, minimizing the risk of oxidation along the way. There is almost no change to the welded material, so it is possible to achieve a very clean weld and look with diffusive welding machine. The second one is vacuum soldering machines. Similar to other types of welding, traditional soldering requires the use of flux. When heated to a certain temperature, flux release gas push out to atmosphere and prevent them from reaching the parent material. Flux need to be cleaned, and cleaning agents used in the process are not always safe for the environment. Thus, vacuum soldering transforms the process by using hydrogen instead of flux. As the name suggests, hydrogen is applied to the soldering process in a vacuum. This in turn creates the same stability that flux offers, without all harmful material being produced in the process. Based on this comparison of welding equipment, vacuum soldering gear is becoming more popular during this industry. So all in all, to conclude that the danger of climate change has compelled many investors to work on solutions that will improve the coming drastic changes in weather. Besides, some of the businesses switching to the green technology to power their business, because it is a way to deal with the weather, which climate change problem, plus it is also a good thing for the business. Moreover, businesses investing in the green technology because besides it is good for environment, it is also good for the brand of the business. So these are some of the news from the Star and NST, and some of the article as well that me and my partner Puteri used to extract more information relating to capital expenditure and its relationship with environment, and how does it affects our environment. And this is to prove as well that some of the equipment and machinery used in this industry are not safe for our environment. Thank you.